upper body mobility essentials, we're going to begin with thoracic extension. So oftentimes what we see is that people are tight and rounded up through typing all day, being on our phones, reading, maybe our work requires us to be in this position. Either way, this is called thoracic flexion, where we're here all day rounded. What we want to do with this series is extension, which is going to be opening up the upper back, and this is thoracic extension. Thoracic is meaning the upper section of your upper back. And so, again, we want to help improve our posture. We want to offset the things that we do all day, which is forward flexion. We're going to begin with a quadruped thoracic extension using the foam roller. So in this position, we can relax the back toes, because what we want to do is we want to sit deeper into our hips. And so I place the roller slightly in front of my chest. From here, I roll my hands forward as I sit my hips back, stretching through that upper back, and then I pull and round back upward. So again, I'm sitting my hips back as I roll my arms forward. So I'm stretching through the back side and the front side, getting a good stretch throughout that upper back and my chest. Hand behind the head, thoracic extension. So now I'm going to be laying on the foam roller to help me have some leverage and support to help extend through my upper back. So I'm going to be placing my hands behind my head, my heels are towards my butt. I'm placing the roller in between my shoulder blades, maybe a little bit lower. From here, I'm going to reach back, letting my head and chest stretch, hold for a moment, then round back up. So as I'm going through that movement, again, my hands stay behind my head, and then I reach and lengthen throughout that upper back, pausing for a moment, then returning to the top. Arm extended thoracic extension. So now I'm going to place my hands on top of my knees. My thumbs are facing forward. From here, I reach back, lengthening my arms, letting my head drop back, hold for a moment, and then reach back forward. So again, as I go through that, I reach back, pause, and return to the start. Banded thoracic extension. What I'm going to be doing here is using a Perform Better resistance band. I'm using the lightest one that they have because I don't want to create a lot of tension here. I'm just more so focusing on adding in some resistance here. So I go about shoulder width apart from this position here. I reach my arms back, pulling on that band, creating tension, rock forward, and again, I'm creating tension on the band as I reach back and reaching forward. Thoracic extension with the dowel. So the difference between the dowel and the band is the band allows for you to stretch, so it gives it some accommodation along the way back, versus the dowel being a fixed position where there's no give or take on the length or the size of it. It's fixed and staying where it's at. So it does make this a little bit more challenging. So same position, shoulder blades are onto the foam roller, knees are bent. You're gonna reach your arms back as far as you can with a light pause, then rounding forward. So again, I reach back, really focusing on creating a lot of tension throughout that upper back and rounding forward. The last exercise in our thoracic extension is going to be a thoracic extension using the kettlebell. I'm using a 12 kilogram kettlebell, which is 25 pounds. The goal is not to lift the weight up, so you can go a little bit heavier or lighter, whatever is available to you, but the goal is to have some external resistance to help lengthen throughout the upper back. So I'm going to reach my arms back, I'm going to grab onto my kettlebell, and now instead of going actively where I'm going upward and downward, all I'm going to do is grab the kettlebell and hold for a set amount of breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, trying to lift the bell up with the bell not going anywhere. That way it creates more tension throughout that upper back.